Welcome to the Owen Joe Show. What is up, Owen? What is up, Dunk? How are you guys?
I'm doing good. How are you, Owen?
I
Can't hear
think we
you.
have I think we have a little delay getting over to England right now.
You saw my put. Well,
They're just
I'm
waking
in
up.
crisis. I'm trying to decide which one
Good,
to
good.
eat before I go to the podcast. Do I?
Did you work out your
Do I eat
midnight snack
jelly or
tonight,
do I
Dunk? I
eat
know we're on a new
peanut
time,
butter
and I
and
saw
jelly?
you were in crisis.
I'm in crisis. I'm trying to decide which one to
I feel like
eat before I go to
like
podcast.
anyway.
I mean, do I eat peanut butter and jelly or do I eat
He's still
peanut
in
butter
listener
and
mode.
chocolate?
That's why I didn't even realize he was in listener mode.
It's
This
quite
is
the
what happens
decision.
when you go night mode.
I
Oh
feel
boy,
like I feel
Owen's
like
in crisis right now. I
uh,
just gotta. Everyone's in crisis mode.
oh, he's still in listener mode. That's why I didn't even realize he was in listener mode. This is what happens when
But
you
I
go
want to
night
do the
mode.
podcast
See what happens.
right
Mm-hmm.
when I wake
We
up.
change things up.
Aside from
Change
that,
things up.
Nothing good can happen when we change things.
Like I want to do the
I'm
podcast
only half a
like
drink in, so
right when
I
I
can't
wake
be
up.
on the
That's
podcast.
aside from that, I'm usually drunk.
Yeah, no, we're well aware of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Owen?
I hear it in your voice right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm only half a drink in, so just wait until the end of the podcast.
Rug.
There you go. Hey, Owen. There he is.
What's
Hey,
up,
good
Owen?
morning. There you go. Got there. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear the music. I couldn't hear you guys.
No.
There it
Rug.
is. It's
Well,
it's
you
too
missed
early.
out on a lot. You missed out on a lot. We'll have to
Oh
catch you
no.
up next time.
I
Happy
know.
St. George's Day. St. George's Day.
Hey,
I don't think
Owen,
that's
maybe.
today.
It was yesterday, right?
No, I think
Oh,
it's
is it a
no.
holiday?
Oh,
It's a
It's
okay.
holiday
not
in the
until
UK,
the
right?
28th.
Huh, okay. What do I know?
Oh.
Hey,
It's
Owen.
been
Maybe.
it was moved. It was moved.
Oh, is
And
it a holiday? It's a holiday in UK, right?
it's but yeah. Well, it's been moved
Mhm.
because the Church of England moved it
Oh, well,
because
that
no.
doesn't count. The Church of
Well,
England's all like
well.
LGBT. That doesn't count. Oh my
Well, no,
God.
because no Saints' Day can take place in the week before or after Easter.
Okay, okay.
So it's been moved. It's usually celebrated on 23rd. So you do know your stuff, my friend. You
I was
do.
gonna
But
say, yeah, April 23rd. That's St. George's Day. See, I was right.
yeah,
The
you were.
LGBTQ Church of England. You can't change some like 1500 year old tradition
I know.
I
just
don't
because
even
you
know
don't know
why.
what a guy and a
So
girl
why
is
do we
anymore.
even
Come
know?
on,
Is
Church
that
of
what they're
England.
doing?
What a joke.
I didn't even know if that was is that a Church of England thing? I don't know about that.
I, I'm I'm
That was
sure
very
it
I
is.
surprised.
don't even know what happened. Like
I know
I'm
that. Yeah.
so
Dunk's lost. He's just in a
I have no
heroin days
idea.
right now. He doesn't know what's going on.
Well, yeah, isn't that interesting?
So Dunk, the English flag is called the St. George's flag.
I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
patron
that's
saint of
the
England.
Okay.
patron saint of England.
Mm-hmm. I know that.
Saint George was martyred on April 23rd.
Okay. I
Oh,
didn't know
well,
So
that.
I mean, like
April
you just
23rd is
described
Saint
every day that
hence
I spent there this
St.
past week.
George's Day.
I don't have to change
So
Okay.
it's like a big day. People go out and wave their English flags and get drunk. So it's a normal day in England basically. But
Oh, yeah. I
this
mean,
day
like
they just
you just described every day
yeah,
that I
it's
spent
it's a
there
day
this
that
past
ends
week.
in Y in England, but this day they wave a flag while they
No,
get
well,
This
it's
drunk.
is a
because of the
really
flag.
strong
You see, we don't normally bother with the flag.
manifestation of
You
this
So
guys have got
Yes,
flags everywhere to remind you that you're in the United
person
States,
there.
whereas we don't
right.
have any flags anywhere. We just
Dickie
get
Lou,
drunk.
the
And now on that one
American
day, we also
Joey's
get drunk with
making
our flag
loud
out.
noise.
I
I'm like,
I have this
I'm like,
really
I'm like,
strong
oh,
memory when I was
really?
in
I
London
was just
of
walking
this
down the.
really drunk
I was just walking down the
person there
street.
going like,
I was walking down the street.
"Making loud
I had one beer
Americans
tonight. How many do
always
you have?
making loud
Ooh,
noise." I'm like,
jeez.
oh,
Oh, the
really?
irony.
I was
The
just walking
No,
palpable
down
because
this.
irony.
we weren't
I was
loud.
just
Yeah.
walking
Oh,
down
the
the
We were
irony.
loud
street.
one.
I was walking down the street. I had one beer tonight. How many do you have? Ooh,
I'm like,
Wow, what
jeez.
was
hey,
that guy's
I'm in your
problem with
country
Americans as
spending
well?
money.
Like,
I
what?
I
even
don't
had
How,
know because
fraud
we
on my
weren't
credit
so
card
loud.
during that
He
time.
seemed
Come
to
on
be the
now.
loud one.
Like,
I could,
Some people just can't let things go. He's
yeah, I mean, like
I'm
it's
like, I'm like,
it's rough.
hey, I'm in your country spending money. I even had
Travel.
fraud on my credit card during that trip. Come on, man. This is like British fraud.
no way.
Yeah, I mean, it was a while ago. It's fine.
Sorry about that.
Traveler's
Oh,
insurance. It's a good thing.
well, look at me. I thought I was going to get some points for knowing what was going on, and
Well,
the Church
yes.
of LGBTQ changed the day. That's
Come
just
on.
amazing. I can't believe it. I really can't believe that.
Yeah. Well, it's strange. Apparently, Keir Starmer, uh, not that I particularly think much of whatever he does, but he apparently
Sure.
still had a celebration on the 23rd. Well, yesterday.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. So
he
he kept the tradition?
he apparently
Whoa.
did. Yeah. He said,
Oh,
"No, I'm
okay.
still having a little something or other." Yeah.
Okay.
So we will. I don't
I
know,
do speak an
but there it
accent
is. I feel less
very
All
English for
right.
some reason as a
Yeah,
result.
I know. You just kind of lost some points there, man.
Ruined it. Ruined it.
I think I'm going to have to start speaking in the accent on this podcast.
Yes.
You do speak in an accent,
It's a different
American
mindset
accent.
after you're
Yeah,
done
I
with
speak
work.
American.
American.
This is weird. You guys are having a late one. This is the first time we've ever done this. So
No,
this is now.
it's a totally new
It's a different mindset after you're done with work.
yeah, totally new
Right.
vibe.
There you go. Yeah.
Well,
It's 6:45 a.m. for me. I've actually been awake since about 3. I don't know what happened. I tried to sleep normally, and I think I woke up thinking, "Oh, I've got to be up at 5:30," and my brain does this awful thing, like many people, and it goes, "Well, you better not go back to sleep then, because you've got to be up in a minute." What the fuck, brain? So that wasn't good. I tried very hard, and then that didn't work in the end.
I was
And then
able
I
to
lost
clean
track
my
of
kitchen
time,
in
and
that
then
delay.
suddenly I was like, "Oh my god,
Thank you.
I need a shower." So I actually made us late, even though I was up
oh, no
awake two
worry.
and a half hours early.
I excel at that, by the way. I
I
excel at
I
that.
was able to clean my kitchen in that delay, so
Oh
thank
wow.
you.
Yeah, we were all very productive waiting
It's
on
a,
Owen.
it's a gift. It was a gift in that case. I'm happy with
Yeah.
that. Wonderful.
High
So
five.
all I really heard there was the half five part because I
No,
love hearing
I
that. The
say
half I heard,
2:30.
Dunk, I heard our friend TC say that today too. She goes, "Oh yeah, I was gonna be
Half
here
five.
at half two or something," and I was like, "Ah, there we go, another
No, I
idiom that I
I
love."
say 2:30.
Yeah, right. 2:30. Yeah,
That's just so much. That's right.
it's just
Why?
barbaric, right? I know it's
Barbaric. Let's
barbaric.
go
It
with
really.
that. My God, yeah. Apparently, in other parts of the world, in some, I think, Scandinavian countries,
Halfway
I
to 3.
think 3:30 would mean 2:30, as in it's halfway toward 3.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
it
I
can get
even like that
confusing.
more, actually. I
Oh,
actually kind of
really?
like that. Yeah, I
No,
like
because
that.
ours is short for
A
half past.
halfway to 3.
Yeah, half to 3, but that
Ah.
makes no sense. So we're
No,
talking
no, I
about.
mean, no, it's very imprecise. I just like it. I'm just saying I just like it. I just like the difference.
Yeah,
They're
well, there you go.
extremely imprecise. Extremely imprecise for
So
such a productive people too.
it's
It's sort of
interesting, isn't it?
strange.
It's
Yeah.
very much. Yeah, oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, we collapse our language into all sorts of mess. But we got, because it's interesting, because it's quarter past, half past.
Old English, like
Right.
See, that makes sense.
very
Quarter past
very
2,
high
half past 2
flapper
makes sense.
That
So
was
sound,
that was
right?
like Dunk would get this too. That was like the way old people would speak here. People would be like,
Like old English, like
yeah, yeah. They'd be like, "Oh yeah,
very
it's a
very
quarter
like
tell. It's
flat
a quarter
flat
tell."
flat
Yeah,
okay. So we'll say, yeah, and then
yeah.
then it gets to the 45. We say quarter to. So it's quarter
Mm-hmm.
past, half
Mm-hmm.
past, quarter to. So it's as you get
Yeah,
closer,
yeah.
right? You wouldn't say 3/4
God, I
past.
love learning these things. I don't know, it just does something for me. I just love learning them though.
That's cool, isn't it?
So
I
then
love
are
it.
you getting ready for work right now?
Yeah, I am indeed. So I am currently. So I've had my shower, taken all my little pills, supplements, and so on. I'm now having a little shake I put together,
What's
which
my routine in
is
the morning?
See, Dunk,
made
this
with.
is what normal people do. Normal people, they wake up, they have a cup of coffee, they take some supplements. They don't they don't do your routine.
Or heroin
Like,
again.
yeah, like
what's my
shooting
routine in
up
the morning?
heroin and yeah, like that it's a very different routine that
He's
normal
never going to
people do.
shake this, is he? This
He's never gonna shake it. We're here for you though, man. We're here for you.
If you only knew my actual morning routine.
I know Dunk's the healthy of us
When the
of all. I
podcast
know.
got
is
delayed,
okay. Okay, here we go. Then here we go.
shower.
That's why we have to
We're
keep
I
beating him up.
got up, took my morning shower,
gonna.
and then I realized that the
Exactly.
podcast was
Exactly. You have to tear down Grace a little bit to destroy
Right.
something beautiful.
Like
Go
when the
after people's
podcast got
strengths.
when the podcast, you know how my 3 shower thing happened today was because I got up, I took my morning shower, and then I realized that the podcast wasn't happening this morning at 8 when I thought it was, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I worked out, and then I took another shower.
Dunk, we don't need to hear about your heroin addiction. Stop trying to fat shame people. Stop it right now. Stop it.
And
You're only skinny because you're on the fucking horse, mate. Fucking
Don't
hell.
need to hear about how you've been chasing the dragon all day.
Yeah.
And speaking of St. George,
and then I went to work,
Love
and I, the rest of the day, I don't remember.
love it. Yeah, right.
Indeed not. I should.
Indeed not. We would assume not.
Well, I'm
So
having. See,
then,
my shake is almond milk. It's activated almond milk, organic, activated almond milk with some organic rice and sea salt.
you know what I've been doing is just like a protein shake, and then I like mix in raw spinach, and so it's like vanilla protein powder. I put a couple scoops of that, just
Nice.
water, blueberries, strawberry,
Oh yeah, man.
and then like a bunch of spinach. I just put as much in as I can stand.
Fiber loading.
Okay.
I love it.
Yep, that's what I'm doing to.
Yeah, it's good for you. I'm
Oh
proud of
no,
you.
it is totally. Got to drop the weight, man.
How'd you
Gotta
feel? How'd you feel after your shake?
normal, zero difference at all.
There.
Zero
Yeah.
difference at all. But
Funny.
it's it's not a one day
But
thing.
it's not. At least it's not a negative. Is what I mean. You
Yeah,
don't feel like
no,
sick
it's
or
not
anything.
negative, not negative, not sick or anything. I just down it. I just try to down it quick because it isn't the best tasting thing in the world. I'll tell you that. You're not drinking it because it's how delicious it is. That's for sure. So yeah, been doing that and gonna like go through like a little. I've done 2 days now of just like kind of just liquid, and gonna go a couple days with it where I just pretty much just drink like shakes for my meals. Just kind of do just like a liquid diet. I mean, it's obviously got food and it's got the strawberries and the the spinach in it and stuff, but it's all basically liquid. I'm gonna do that a couple days.
Yeah, you could
And
lose a lot of weight doing that. Like
you really
back in
can.
my
Yeah.
like this may make me seem really pathetic, but when I got into those MLM days,
Mm-hmm.
I got into like Herbalife. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And,
Yep.
and that was kind of like what the thing that like triggered the entrepreneur mindset in my mind, in all honesty. So I thank it for that.
I love it. Dunk was a fucking Herbalife guy. I love that. Sure. No, I get it. That's the silver lining.
And that's the silver lining. And like
Your family must have hated your fucking guts, by the way. But yeah, I'm sure.
You have no idea how oblivious my family is.
All your friends think they're coming over to your house to hang out, and then you've got like a PowerPoint ready.
No, I was bad at that part. I really felt bad. Like the thing is, like I was not good at being that like that MLM heavy pusher type person. I was never good at that. But I was really good at using the products and getting to probably like
That's good though. It's good for you, right?
it's good for you, but it's like I mean like it's an MLM where they're overcharging for supplements and stuff like that. Obviously, I looked.
So how would you make money doing that? How, like, what was the scheme? How do you make money with Herbalife?
I mean, like obviously, like every MLM, you make more money if you're like early, but they you have like sales combined with
They have to buy
override commissions, basically meaning that people that you bring in below you get a percentage of all their
Of
sales.
what they sell. Gotcha.
Yeah, so that was the whole thing.
But like the people you bring in, like they have to buy, right? Isn't that sort of
the buy or sell? Yeah. So it occurred to me, I'm like, wait, I'm not building my own business. I'm building Herbalife's business. When they tell you you're starting your own business, it's the same thing I say about YouTube. If there's somebody that could turn the off switch on my business, it's not my business.
It's
somebody else's
department, maybe.
Whatever. But what I could tell you is that I was
I
probably in the
hated it.
best
Like I
freaking
hated
shape
the
of my
marketing of
life.
it, and
Oh, really?
I
Like
hated
I
the
was
people
freaking
that were
ripped.
around me.
I
Like
just remember seeing all those
Weird.
stickers
Like names were
everywhere. I
like
didn't like.
but
and I mean
but
like
it,
I
yeah,
wanted the best for them. I
I
wanted them to
hated
be
it. Like
successful.
I hated the marketing on it, and I hated the people that were around me because
Oh God,
their
yeah,
brains were just jello.
Herbalife's global.
insufferable.
And
Herbalife
Yeah.
like I
is
wanted the
global.
best for them. I
Herbalife
Do
is
you
wanted to
wait
be
a second?
successful.
Hold on a second. I don't know if
MLS
I'm
is
not sure if
this
Owen
type
knows what we're
whatever.
talking about here. Do you have
Herbalife,
anything like that?
yeah, I've heard of Herbalife.
Oh,
Okay,
It's
so
Herbalife,
it got as far
Herbalife's
as England as
global.
it's
well.
everywhere.
Herbalife
okay.
It's
is one of
infiltrated the entire planet.
Herbalife is
That
actually one
particular
of the
one, the
largest
Mary Kay, and
MLMs on the planet.
but
So I'm
Well, I
it's
didn't know if like
but yeah,
I didn't know if like that scheme was
I
allowed
just couldn't
oh
stand like the
in
it's
Europe. Okay,
it's everywhere.
all right.
It's infiltrated the entire planet. That
it's
particular
like
one, Mary
there's this guy
Kay,
that
and a couple
one
other
of my
ones. Um but yeah,
Mm.
yeah like
I just
in
couldn't stand like all
there's this one of my friends and I
the
that were we always
what do you like
to this day we make
it's
fun of this
like
one guy.
there's this
It's like I
guy that
hate that we're
one of
Like
my
people who like can't afford to pay their rent, but they're like
he was a
talking about like
yeah
being millionaires.
like
I
the
know.
one that
Yeah. Right.
there's
I
this
make like
one of my friends and I that were
$5,000 a month, and
we
he
like
he said
to
this
this
thing
day
this
we
one
make fun of this
time.
one
He's like,
guy.
no
Like I
college,
hate that we're making fun of him, but
and
it's just
every
so
time that
appropriate.
I see this
He
friend,
was like
I just go like, no
he'd be
college,
like, yeah,
and he's like,
I made
it's like,
like
cool,
five
you're making
thousand
five
dollars a
thousand
month, and
dollars a
then
month, no
he said
college.
this one thing this one
Like,
time. He's like,
wow,
no
man.
college. And every time that I see this friend, we just go like, no college.
No
But
college. Yeah.
it's like, cool, you're making five
But
thousand dollars a
he
month. No
followed it. He
college.
followed it
Like,
with
Right.
no
wow,
Right.
college.
man.
As if like $5,000 a month in
And not
California is
saying
like
that I
some
think
major
college is like
flex. That's like the
but
don't get me
basically
wrong.
subsistence
Fucking
living.
minimum wage,
That's like,
man.
he followed
It was his
it
final
with
thing where he's like,
you're
no
making
college.
60 grand a year. Holy shit.
and not saying that I think college is like the make or break thing. Don't get me wrong, but just
Right.
like
Right.
it was
I didn't
his
go to college.
Yeah,
Shit. Yeah.
it was his final thing where he's like, no
No
college.
college. Yeah.
uh, but yeah, it was like I
Wow.
he
No
I
way.
make
in
basically what
all
a
honesty, it was
Starbucks
the thing that
barista
led me to
makes.
all the
No
Yes.
college.
Yeah. Good for you,
but
man.
Oh
not the
fuck.
MLM. Like anybody that's
Uh,
listening right
Flipping
now,
but yeah,
burgers
it,
at McDonald's. No
I
college.
it,
Shit.
in all
No
honesty, it was the thing
college.
that led me to all the things that I was like
do
where I
yourself a
am now.
favor.
But it was like it was not the MLM. Like anybody that's listening right now, I'm like I love you, but do not do not get into an MLM, please.
So
Do
when I
yourself a
was
No,
favor.
it's fine.
when I
It's
started my
pretty questionable.
yeah, I so like my one of my like first businesses was a insurance, insurance brokerage. And when you go to so like you have to go get, an insurance license and all that. And when you go do that, I would say probably like God, I don't know how it's done. And this was like over 20 years ago when I got my license. So um let me think here. You would be I would say there's probably
When
about
I sell my
60 to
essentials,
70% of the people
I mean
in the
like
like
I'm gonna
class with you,
solve
like
all your
in the
medical
school with
problems.
you, were probably part of some kind of like MLM, probably, like
Oh
there's
God,
some called like
somebody tried to sell me
You
on
want to
that
buy some of
Primerica.
my
the
essential
life
oils?
insurance.
Well,
Oh my,
well,
I
oh
mean,
this
like
this
to
was
solve all
different
your
than that
medical
though.
problems.
This is different than that though. This is, people trying to sell insurance. And
Oh
there's
God,
there's
somebody tried to
these.
suck me into that one.
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
insurance. Oh my
Right.
God.
Fuck.
And those are the most ridiculous
Oh,
ones. So like when I was starting my insurance company, because you have to go get your license, and the way to get your license, you have to go to school. You have to. And it's only like 3 weeks or so. It's probably different now, but when I
oh
did
my
it, it
God.
was only like a 3 week
Mm.
thing. And like,
I mean,
I'm telling you, like 7 out of 10
Joe,
people there were
like
part of
in
those
my
MLMs, and they were
family
like,
history, like
bro, these people were they
someone
were
so
like
as
part
though
of
like when
cults.
I
I
was
mean, it
like
was like
I
being
oh
just listening
God.
to like a cult
Mhm.
member, just like
like I
what
mean
are
like
you
And
talking about?
like
Joe, like you know my
yeah.
family history
The,
ish,
Right, right.
they don't
so you
call
understand how like
themselves
when I was
no
like I spotted it.
Yeah, sure,
Like I'm like
man.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm part of that
Dunk
cult,
basically
so
grew up in a
right with
cult,
you, man.
Owen.
Oh shit.
Uh, yeah,
they,
yeah,
I'm proud.
Wow.
I'm
they don't
proud to
call
be that one.
themselves that, but no
No, we
cults
just
do.
we just call ourselves
yeah.
Trekkies. What are you talking about?
Oh man,
Man.
I'm part of that cult right now
I
too.
learned.
Right with you,
100%.
man.
Come on, baby. There it is. I
You're
managed to
like
get Star Trek
I'm
into
proud.
it
I'm
I
proud.
within
I'm
learned
proud
something
to
25
so
be
minutes.
early
one.
that
But
Good job, Owen. Good job.
That's gonna be. I need my own little
Man,
klaxon for that one now, right? So
I
I've got
let
a ding for history. I need a klaxon for Star Trek. Anyway, keep
I,
going.
I let it slip so early that I know Star Trek people. You're right.
I'll make sure that I
I love you,
I'll
man.
make sure to
That's all
connect.
this is going to turn into is just
It
a Star
is.
Trek thing.
It is. Yes, it is. I'm eroding the fucking bedrock of everything we stand for. It's going to become a Trek
Hey,
show. Anyway,
I'll
so
make
come on,
sure that
you're a cult.
I'll make sure to connect you
Me?
with Tim. You don't have to worry.
Which story am I telling?
That's what I got up for, man.
Well, go on, finish the
Finish
story, you
fucking
damn
yeah, sorry.
junkie.
Finish.
Yeah, I know. You already forgot. You already forgot.
Right.
God, he's asleep now. Wake
Me?
up,
I'm
Dunk.
asleep.
Yeah.
What
Yes,
story am I
wake up.
telling?
You see, he's already lost his mind.
Remind me what I
We
was
lost
It's
him,
telling.
late.
Owen.
Like that by this time of the night, my
Oh
brain
yeah,
is already
cults.
like
That
fried.
part.
What happens when you mix
Yeah,
alcohol with
it's
heroin?
people call it religion.
Dunk, you were taught. Never
But
mind.
Yeah,
Never
the
mind.
remind me what
Yeah.
I was talking about. I need to know.
Cults, man. You were
Oh
telling
yeah,
us about your
cults. That part.
wonderful cult upbringing.
and
Oh no, it's people call it religion,
Oh
but
yeah.
but there's
Well,
a thing
most cults do.
there's a thing
Yeah.
about cult behavior that they like to call themselves religious.
Know that
And
I'm out.
And they're the one that figured it out, right?
Like
and they're the like and
I'm not part.
let's just say in my I love my family, but
when I'm around my family, like I just
they don't know that I'm
the way that I think.
out, if that makes sense.
Like, I
Like
think
I'm
you're
not
still
part
part
of
of the cult.
I'm not part I'm like I'm not like when I'm around my family, like I don't tell them the way that I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's safe. That's a reasonable thing to do. If you want to keep speaking to them, right? I mean, that's they're still in. You can't. If it's a cult, you can't be kind of half in.
Be right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd
Right. They
rather
demand obedience, right? So yeah, we get it. We get it. We sympathize.
I'd rather just love my family and just not, like I don't want I it's not important to me to be right in their
Yeah,
eyes.
this is it. This is one of those white lies. This is one of those
That
kind,
really is.
kind
Yes.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of an asshole to decide. Not only am I not in this, but I'm
Mhm.
also going to now
I don't need
make it so that everybody has to suffer.
You're right.
You know, you've made a
That's
decision.
You don't need.
yeah, I don't think that anybody needs to like, hey, you know what?
I love you.
I need you all to know how right I am
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't need that. Like I don't care if you think that you're right. Congratulations. You don't need to
In all
convince me. Go and live your life. I love you. Go and live your life. I'm gonna go live mine.
Exactly. No, that makes sense, man. That's very, very reasonable. Very gracious.
Yeah. Stop concerning
I
yourself.
was the
I mean,
same.
I think that's in all honesty, I think that's the way that everybody should live their life. Like I think that that's how everybody should
Because
be.
you're right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's just
And
stop
the irony is not
concerning.
lost on you.
Yeah, stop concerning yourself with me and just focus on yourself, and let's just be done with it. That's the way I live my life.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, that really is. I actually agree. I agree.
It's that classic thing they say about ex-smokers, isn't it? Though, if you were a smoker after you quit smoking, you're the most insufferable non-smoker.
Oh
You'll make a big
God.
fuss of it all.
Tell me
You
about it.
wave your
Yes.
hand, you make the little. You then tell people constantly about how good it is not to be smoking. And I didn't do that.
Thank you for mentioning that as I'm taking a nice puff on a Marlboro right now. Thank you for mentioning that.
I've always believed it's everyone's God-given right, if you like, to smoke. And it's frankly been a part of civilization since the dawn of time. I have no
Well,
problem with anybody smoking. The fact that I don't anymore, brilliant, good for me. But I will never start preaching to somebody that they shouldn't be. Simple as.
And you know what? It's actually something I go a little more philosophical with it because, here we go, get the ding ready. Let's just be honest. Tobacco built this country. Okay.
Yeah,
Tobacco and your country for that matter, while
man.
you guys were still exploiting us.
Uh-huh.
Um, it really, it really did.
You
That
miss
and
us.
tea.
You miss us. That and
We
tea.
do. I do. I do.
You'd love to be exploited by the director right now. You'd be fucking
Uh,
all over that shit.
you know what? Let's just be real. If I was alive in that time, I would have been the loudest loyalist around.
Hell yeah.
I would have.
You'd have been.
And I know I would have. I know I would have. I'm not even gonna lie. I I,
So
I
much
would
worse
have been on the
than
phone like, yeah, King George the Third. Yeah, hey, I know where Washington is. I'm gonna help you grab him. Okay, he's right here on my street right now.
I mean,
I think
it
that you
couldn't
guys
have
could have
turned
done it
out
better.
too much worse than
Come on,
the
come over here.
250 years we were given.
Oh, Dunk here. Sorry, I'm sorry, Owen.
Oh, true.
Sorry,
I-
Owen.
It's a back and forth.
I'm like, I think that you guys could have done it better.
Yeah, man.
Come on, come over here.
Yeah,
I mean,
for real.
back
Not
and forth
anymore
lost
now.
them,
Now I feel like it's your
I
turn
don't
to
know about
save us
that.
again.
Yeah,
Oh, true.
yeah.
I mean, it's a back and forth. It's a back and forth, though.
It is. There's
I don't know
there's
about
pros
that.
and
They
cons.
do
There
have
are
Sadiq
pros and cons.
Khan.
There, well,
They-
I mean, a back and
yeah.
forth across the
That's what I mean.
the pond.
That's my argument.
Listen, we both seem to get some stuff quite right, where the other one gets it wrong, and vice versa. Neither of
I've
us have
always
kind of
said,
nailed
Yeah,
it.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
again, get the dinger ready. I've always said, if you live in a free country, think the British Empire. Yeah,
Oh, that's a serious wow. That's bloody hell. How very
it's
American
true.
that. Well,
It's true.
yeah.
It's true. Look around the world. Look at everywhere that's like
Yep.
free or a democracy.
You have a good point.
It was a colonial possession at one point.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
there's something to that.
Yeah. It was,
Something to that.
exactly. I think there's a good argument that it was a lot of good at the time.
I mean, obviously, Zimbabwe, aka Rhodesia, went a little haywire, but other than a couple of those ones, that's other than the asterisks, it's been you guys are swinging. You guys have a pretty good batting average. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Pretty good batting average.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. And now we're becoming the 51st state. So
Yeah, I
it's full
know.
circle.
Right. Hmm. Very true.
But yeah, it's
So, what's on
interesting.
your agenda today, Owen? Mr. Owen?
Well, let's see. Yes. I'm gonna be working from about 9, so a couple of hours. I've got a busy old day, lots of things happening, landing a few bits and pieces. Just busy, always am. I'm a very high demand guy. And
So, if I can move the conversation to just a little bit more of a strategic talk for a second,
all right.
um, I am. I do not mind this time adjustment at all.
This honestly works better.
It'll
better for
take me a bit of a second to adjust, but not going to be a problem for me.
Uh-huh.
my mornings
I
are
think
always like
Dunk is
busy.
already a night owl, so I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah,
This,
he's
this
How
high,
does
actually
this
whatever
works
time of day.
better for me overall, personally, just because
How does this
my
feel for you, Owen?
my mornings are always like usually busy. That's why.
Yeah.
How does this feel for you? Does this work for you?
This is great. This is great. Yeah, this is great.
Okay, so this fits easier for you.
Yeah, definitely, I'd say 100%. I mean, I really like this because for me, having a 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever early, mid afternoon, early evening thing coming really just doesn't work for my brain. I don't like that. I
Okay.
like to be able to,
Okay.
if I go out in the morning, I like to be able to be out and know I've got nothing to come home for at any given time. So
Got
that
it.
works for me fantastically. Just like get up, have a nice shower, have breakfast with my friends, i.e., here right now, and then boom, my day kicks off, and I'm just off to the races. Fantastic.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. All right, good. I like this. I think we're going to be able to make this work just fine then.
Cool.
You want to keep the same um daily schedule, as in like skip a day, do a day, skip a day, do a day? Do you want to keep that for
Well,
now? Do you want to?
let's keep it for now. Yeah, I'm just wondering again
Okay.
because of the shift now to morning, maybe not. Maybe because I don't know. But yeah, I think so. I think let's keep it. Let's do one change at a time,
Okay. So let's
like
do that.
scientists.
Let's keep that for now,
Hmm.
because I do think if this works for everybody's schedule,
Hmm.
then we could get to a point where we put a little bit more content out. And I wanted to talk about that with you guys. That's why I said I wanted to move a
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
strategic
let's
for a
do that.
second.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, think about I gotta say I thoroughly enjoyed our I think it may even have been one of our a couple of days. My days have so melded together since I've been sitting in front of my computer that I don't even know where I'm at. But
Mhm.
think it was probably two times of meeting ago.
Mhm.
We were like joking around about
Jim's in.
new slang and stuff.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed myself there.
Yeah, man.
Very fun, very good.
This is number 7, by the way.
That was episode 4.
Number 7, right?
That was fun.
So that was probably number 5. That's right, yeah, because then you guys went and started jacking off about Star Trek.
Mhm.
That's
That
correct. That's correct.
that was episode 4.
Yes.
It's because when
Okay.
I put
So
stuff on YouTube,
and good job, Dunk. Wow, look at the look at sharp.
Wow.
You're sharp right
He's
now,
just taking a
man.
quick line of coke to balance it
I
out.
I know exactly.
It's because when I put stuff on YouTube, I remember it. But if it's not on
Sure, that's
YouTube,
why.
I don't.
That's why.
I don't.
It's not that the product coming up over the border now is a little bit cleaner. Okay. I'm sure that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Um, um, I I think look what I wanted to go with that is like look it was fun, that was funny, I loved it, very witty and um just fun, enjoyable.
Mhm.
And I think that needs to be our aim,
Yeah.
recreate that.
Yeah.
And I had some thoughts on it. I actually had a few little brainstorms on it. I'm sure you did too. Um so if we can I think one thing we should try to do,
Mhm.
because I want to do this properly and give it the respect it deserves.
Mhm.
Maybe on our like off day,
Mhm.
we can just do a quick little 15 20 minute 20-minute 15-minute 20-minute chat
Yes.
where we just get together.
Precisely.
Hey, what do you want to do tomorrow,
Mhm.
and discuss it. The way I see it, these first few um, really just need to again, it's just kind of the just like I was saying, the just do it phase.
Mm.
Just kind of get together just so we can even just feel each other out and just get each other's speed, just get all that type of like get again, just get each other's speed worked out, get each other feel each other out, you know,
Mhm.
um, and get each other's rhythm, um, that type of stuff,
Yeah, man.
and then we can, kind of actually construct an actual proper professional show. Like one thing I was thinking, for like Dunk, for your purposes, if we, I'd spoke about this before with Dunk before, but just to bring Owen in on it,
Mm.
if we took something, we typically go for anywhere from like an hour and 15 to 2 hours. That can be easily made into what, 5 to 8 15-minute clips. Let's just glue something in front and on the back,
Okay.
and now we have the whole show and a bunch of clips. And every show
Yeah.
we've got something like
well,
five,
that's the way
six,
that
eight,
podcasts
nine
grow, right?
different
Like, I mean, like
videos that
the
we can
modern way is
post to
to take
YouTube.
videos and
I like it.
send it to
That sounds
wherever
cool.
the podcasts
This is
are
much. This
Dunk.
is exactly where
Yep.
my head has been going. Yeah, I
then
was
Well,
honestly
Oh,
thinking
that's the
that.
way
and
that
then send it to
podcasts
like the main
grow, really. Like,
full
I mean, like
podcast. So
the
they're all just
modern
like
ways. You take videos
shorts
and then
and
you can
then
send it to
mid-sized
wherever
videos
the
that are all just
podcasts are hosted, whether it's audio or video. But you'd split it up and then send it to the main
it's
full
yeah.
podcast.
And then you
So
have the
they're all
pre-create
just
stuff.
like shorts
The one
and
thing that
then
you just need to
mid-size
find
videos
like
that
the
are
in and
all
out
just
points
feeding into the
for
long
clips,
video.
and it's super simple after that.
Cool. That makes a lot of
Hmm.
sense. That's perfect.
It's yeah,
It's
and then you
fishing,
don't have
isn't
to
it? Yeah.
recreate stuff.
Fishing, putting your
The
fishing lines
one
out,
thing
hooking people
you
in.
just need to
100%.
find
You
the
just
in and out
find like
points for like the
sections that
clips, and
are
it's super simple
that
after
are
that.
designed.
Interesting.
Then
Well,
Mhm.
I think that's what we discuss on our days off.
Mhm.
And
100%. Like if you could find like sections that are kind of pre-designed, then that
right.
would be very helpful.
And we can pre-design them around time.
Hmm.
You know, we can pre-design them around time so that it becomes a very easy thing to
Yeah, I mean,
just
it always does take,
you know, kind of
we discussed it with you,
glue
it
it
does
in
take some
there.
time to
Um,
put out any video.
and then
Yeah,
that's an easy
it's
thing
definitely easier to
for
make
you
videos
to
than
put
it
out,
is to
right?
make one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it always does take. I discussed it with you. It does take some time to
Of
put out
Yeah,
course.
any video, but yeah,
yeah,
it's
100%.
definitely easier to repurpose a video than it is to
Yeah,
make one.
it will take
Okay.
a set amount of
So,
time. So if it
um,
stretches
well,
out
what
beyond
what do you
I can
think? Is
do, then
this
we might need to
doable?
get
Yeah,
other people involved. But that's
yeah, 100%.
conversation
It
for
just
another
like
day.
I said, it takes it will take
Mhm.
a set amount of time. So if it stretches out beyond
My
what
goal is
I
to
could
make
do, then
everything
we
be
might need
done
to
by AI.
get other people involved.
That's
But
what I want.
that's
Like
a
I'd love it
conversation for
for
another day.
like I just need to find the
Okay.
right tools
Mhm.
to do it. Like and
So
they're
it's kind
you
of
know I just need to like trial and error
My
and
goal
say
is to
well
make
figure out
everything
which
be
one's
done
better.
by AI. In all honesty, like
Yeah,
If
that's
you
what I
can,
want.
I was
then
Like
going to
I'd
say.
love it for.
can that be done?
Like I just need to find the right tool to do it. Like and they're out there. So I just need to like trial and error the right tool and figure out which one works best for us. And
Yeah.
when I do, then we'll do that.
Mhm.
What's up, Hunter?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We just now got a little giraffe in here. Hey, Hunter. Okay. Well, I'll go silent on that for now.
Hmm.
We'll maybe circle up together tomorrow
Yeah,
about that
Yeah, all the
and
full videos
talk
will
about it
be
because I think we
aside
need
from the
to
chats
work that
from
stuff
the
out
episodes that you did.
yeah.
Oh,
and get that
totally.
worked out
All up on
because
the main YouTube channel.
we've
The
got
full episodes.
to like get the content out there.
Yeah, all the full videos
And
for the
tonight's episode
first, I
will
think,
be up
aside from those first
by
two
tomorrow morning.
test podcast
It's
episodes that you did, are all up on the main YouTube channel right now. Full episodes,
mhm.
Nice.
including
Right.
tonight's episode, will be up by tomorrow morning. It's yeah.
Cool. That's good. Yeah, getting the
Mhm.
content out there and getting the content in here too. Because I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, we just sit around and chat. That can be fun, and like we stumbled upon the Gen Z thing the other day, and that was a good laugh. But we need to be thinking about things. We can't
We
just.
yeah
Otherwise,
we
we'll end up with half the show just chatting bollocks, which is fine and can be funny, and half the show maybe getting some great traction. But it'd be much cooler if we had a thing or a series of
that
things,
that's
and we
what
can
I'm
even
saying.
even
Yeah.
advertise for it as well to say what's coming next, this, that, and the other. I mean, come on,
Well, so
it's
this is partly where I was actually going with it too, because I have a list of some people who like speak. You said the exact word there, advertise. I have a
Mhm.
little list of some people to reach out to for for like sponsorships, and um, I know some of them will be interested. That means we're gonna have to fit that in. We're gonna have to fit that in, but it's also going to mean there's going to need to be a little bit of planning ahead.
Yeah,
Um,
cool.
so
Yeah.
all I'm saying is I think we need to get a little, I like that we've just been, again, I've been the biggest one thinking, look, we just need to just get on the phone, just do it.
Hmm.
Doesn't even matter what we talk about, actually. Just the three of us just get on here, figure it out,
Yeah. Well,
make
this is
sure.
what I call not even beta phase. This is alpha. This is, and I don't mean that in the stupid alpha
No,
news
I get it.
bollocks.
I get you.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
this is the
yeah.
pre-beta, right? This is alpha stage. Then we'll have a beta stage, and then we'll be in full production mode. I mean, this is yeah,
Yes, yes,
this is cutting room
correct,
floor stuff. You know, it's all good.
correct. Um, so so that's sort of where I'm at with it. And I've got like, mm, I've got a list of about 10 different advertisers,
Okay.
um, who
Nice.
have been like doing things like this, and I've been some of my own research has just been kind of like trying to find things similar to this and then finding like, okay, how are they getting money, what are they like, who are their sponsors, because those are going to be the people who are naturally going to be easiest for us to talk to.
Still makes sense.
So so um even if we only get two of them, even if we just get 2 of 10, that'll be good. We don't need to get all 10 of 10, even 1 of 10. Like, we just need to get something to start generating a little income. Once we land one, that'll make it a lot easier for other people to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but think it's more about the content first, though, as well. Because I mean, you talk
We've
about
got
sponsorship and
to.
stuff, and I'm like, come
We've
on,
got to.
we can't. Who's going to spot? I mean, we've got if we have like five giraffes in here, if we get 1 cent per giraffe, per episode, we've still got a long way to
Oh,
go,
no,
right?
no. Well, I think we're looking at the wrong set. I don't think in here matters, actually.
No, that's a good
Yeah.
point. I was
Yeah.
reminded
I
of
don't
that.
think in here matters at all.
No,
Um,
but whatever it is, we've got to be compelling, and people have got to be
yeah.
coming.
This
And
is
then
just
when
where you're
people are coming,
recording it,
advertisers
Owen.
will
Like
champ at the bit. Yeah, yeah, that's
this
very
is
true.
like right
And
now I'm
that will
recording it
actually
on my
benefit
computer
you
and we're
by doing
streaming.
this later in the evening.
That's just
Yep.
the
I
the
actually
means of
partly
transfer.
don't want a lot of people in here. I
Yeah, makes
part
sense.
Yeah. Um,
Well, and
I
But either
I
way,
think that
even
will
though
actually
listeners,
benefit you by
subscribers,
doing this later
anything.
in the evening, anyways. By like you'll get less people, but in the end, YouTube and actually the RSS feeds are where the actual value is. Like I
That's
love
fine too.
like that's where
Don't
the
get me
value is.
wrong. I was just using it as a kind of an instant because I haven't seen the other figures, and I know that we've got like one subscriber or something, and I'm pretty sure it's my daughter.
That's amazing. That's hilarious.
You're talking about
Okay.
the YouTube channel? Or
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the
So,
thing
but
is that
it'd be
we're
fine because
not
we haven't done
we're not
anything yet.
really
We haven't done anything yet.
pushing that
No.
yet, because the thing is like you have to build what Joe was talking
Yeah.
about. You podcast channels on YouTube, they need to release full episodes regularly. They need to have like 20-minute clip sections, and then they
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
need to have shorts, because the shorts feed the clips, and
Yeah.
then the clips feed the long form, and
Yeah.
it's just a trickle down effect, and this it's just the way that podcasts are now. You have to have all of those pieces to
Yeah.
be successful with the podcast nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
where I'm going with this is, what I'm trying to find out from you, Dunk, because you're kind of saying the same. You're saying yes and no. Is is this something you can do? Is this something you're able to do right now?
Yeah.
Are you able to do to get it to do 15-minute clips?
Yeah, it just depends on how many clips. So like I could definitely like go through it. We just need to find out a strategic way to mark the clips, because it, like for instance, there's a whole podcast. If I have to be in the
Oh, dude,
podcast and
AI.
then watch
Dude,
through the entire
AI.
podcast
No,
again,
fuck that. No, 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 no.
yeah, that
No
that's
chance, man.
that takes time. Like if there's a
Nah.
way for us to have a tool that could clip it, or if we do it in real time, that's a different, like if we mark the times. But like what you're saying, if there was a way that we would plan things out and say, hey, here's clip 1, 2, and 3 from this podcast that we already have pre-planned, like that kind of
Or,
thing, then
or
we just
if I
grab
mean, it
that
can.
piece.
Or we're missing something really simple. If we've just done something which was fucking hilarious, we're all going to somewhat know. Somebody just needs to just like push a button or something, or write down the time, anything, the screenshot with a time, right? Just because like, oh, that was interesting. I wonder if that would be cool. Screenshot. And at the end of it, we just go, oh, here's all the screenshots I took with all the times, and then we can just scrub back to that and go, oh yeah, yeah, that was funny as fuck. Boom,
Okay.
whatever. Maybe that.
Yeah,
So
it's just
so
about
that's
time stamping is the key.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. As we go.
Like we need
so
to
so
find
I
a
think that
strategic way to
works.
timestamp.
Well, I think that's it right there. We just snap a screenshot,
Yeah.
and then that takes us, and that's the thing. If we can like hammer it down, and look, I know, like, I haven't been the best at this either. But if we can hammer down, like, okay, day after tomorrow, we're gonna start at 10:30 our time,
Yep.
me and Dunk's time, um, 6:30 your time, and then we know, okay, this started at 10:30. At least that's when I spun it up. If I take a screenshot and send it to you dunked at 11:24, then you know, okay, 54 minutes in, that's where to clip that thing.
Yeah, that could work, but I think that there's probably ways that I'll do some research on like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best
yeah,
way
yeah.
to
Do
like.
some
I mean,
research. But I mean, that's
there's
the
ways.
absolute minimum,
There's
most
like
bullshit,
mhm,
zero tech. Just me thinking of the funniest, lowest tech, obvious answer.
like hit a
Stopwatch on your
button when you
phone
see
every
something.
now.
Like
Right.
that's about
There's
it.
going to be a button. There's going to be right. It's come on. Yeah, it's fine.
Hmm.
There's going to be a million. There's got to be something or other, right? But I
Or
just
or is or is the Twitter Spaces, is this not the best place to record? Because I thought,
Now,
just
if you want an audience, it's the best place to record like a live audience. Now, if you want to sit down and be on camera, then I'd say something like Streamlabs or StreamYard or something like that would be your best bet. But
well, I'm
if you
set
don't
for
want to
that,
if you don't want to be on camera, then this is fine. Uh,
right? And
like
it's easy and cheap.
it's easy and
Yeah.
cheap, and like right now, like I'm recording just on my computer, and I can also do it on my server. But like
see, I do stuff
it's
as
super
well.
easy. Like
I do stuff at
that.
the same time. I walk
Mhm,
around my kitchen and I've just like emptied and loaded my
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
dishwasher, tidied up. I might
If you're
cook
on
some
camera,
food. Yeah.
mhm. I do the same thing. Like I'm
Okay.
constantly
So then
monitoring.
we'll just keep that. We'll just keep this then.
I
For
think
Okay.
this
now,
is
We'll
a
just keep
anyways.
good
this.
For now.
structure.
Yeah.
Like the audio quality actually sounds pretty good, in all honesty.
It is good quality. It's great
Like I've
quality.
been
Yeah.
Yeah.
really surprised after I've been going back to the video files on like how good the quality has actually been.
Brilliant. Great. Well,
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we have a little bit of a path forward here.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, then so here's just a couple things I have I think to work on. And these are just my ideas. If you guys have anything else to add, please share. But this is something that I've been thinking about. One, like a um, Dunk, you or Owen, one of you guys
We
who
need a bumper.
can make literally a 3-second um, something to glue to the front. Not even, it doesn't even need to be
You mean a
three. It can
bumper?
just be
You need bumpers.
just yeah, bumper. That's the right
Hmm.
word. Right. Some kind of bumper for
Hmm.
the front and end. And that could be
Canva.
also the same thing for for the like 15-minute clips too.
Hmm.
Okay. And then, either like one thing, Owen, you and I were thinking about like just to open the show up with we'll figure this out when we like meet and do like a pre-show talk. Um, what to open with? We're just gonna open with me just saying, "Hey, welcome, da da da," or we're gonna open with um you reading something, me saying, something. We'll think about that, and that doesn't need to be the same every time. That can change.
Yep.
It can be the same too. If there's one thing I learned in our link experience and had completely reinforced
Okay.
with my
Repetitiveness
giraffe
is
experience is
online,
repeating yourself. Nothing wrong with
especially
that.
like YouTube. Dude, man,
In fact,
I would not
repeating
believe how
It's
yourself
I
good.
realized that I
is a
can't.
very good thing. Yeah, yeah,
Repetitiveness
Oh my
is
god,
it like online in general. Like
like
especially with like
yeah.
YouTube, like dude, man, like you would not believe how once I realized that I just need to say the same thing 100
Yep,
times.
yep.
Oh my god, my success changed. Like
I understand why campaigns say the same thing over and over and over again. Now, like I was doing it with Link, and I remember I would always feel kind of hesitant to do it because I would like
they've
even
already heard it
sometimes I would,
before.
yeah, I'm like, God, these people have already heard me say this, or they've heard me like pitch this thing. But then like where like I really solidified it was with the giraffe community, and seeing like just seeing the success that like the charts have had, like the number, like there people hear you say the same pitch over and over again, And it's
It
like,
gets ingrained.
yeah. And you know, that whole like marketing saying of, you know, people need to hear something. I don't know that it's like 17 times or
It's
something.
7 times, but I think it needs to be more.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever. Then I don't even care. I'm just saying, like, it's true.
Yeah, man.
It's completely
100%
true.
true.
100% is,
Yeah.
yeah. I try and explain something to people at work. If I tell them, I think, great, I found that now. And then the thing will come up again and again. And it's about 7 times when it finally. And I just, but so that people can get, you know, you can start, because I'm very patient because I know that's what's going to happen. I have no problem with it. I've seen other people get really funny about it, like, oh, but I just go, it's okay, because it's going to take 7 goes because it's complicated, you know.
Right.
And then
Right.
finally you get there. It's not a problem.
And then finally it's there. Yeah. So that's just another thing for us to like just all kind of keep in mind is that like being repetitive, totally okay. Totally okay.
Okay.
Um in fact, um maybe more than okay, maybe
Yeah.
um beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. It does make a lot of sense. Because we can also, because the fact is, people don't know who we are. People don't know why we're doing this. Um,
Yep.
and
And
we
on
can
a
always
note,
take a few minutes to
in the process
reiterate
of
that
this
stuff.
podcast today,
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
you know, build on that.
and
so
and
in
that
the draft,
that even becomes a filler. It becomes a time filler.
Yeah.
And
And
I
on a
think
note,
so
like
my
most of the
point is
people
like
that
those
dropped
people,
into this
they come
podcast
here to
today,
a podcast
I didn't know them.
they've never experienced
right,
it before.
So
right.
They
it's
say the
even
same
the
thing
draft.
over and
I
over
didn't know.
again because that's the first
No,
time
I
they've
actually
heard
wasn't
it.
even following that
After
But
giraffe. I
you
just now
have
followed it. Yeah.
yeah, but
the
so my
next
point is like those
say the
people, they
same
come
thing,
here to a
they've never met you
podcast.
before.
They've never experienced it before. You could say the same thing over and over again because that's the first time those people
Right.
Hmm.
That
actually have
someone's hearing
ever
that. Yeah.
seen you, ever met you. So you
Yes.
could say the same thing because they've never met you before.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing. Like part of what I was thinking, like some of my thoughts have changed a little bit. Like part of what I was thinking was, well, you know, Owen, you and I had such a good time hosting a space.
Yeah.
And um I was thinking a big part of that was like the other people, and that's why a big part of me was like, hey,
Yes.
we should make this interactive so other people can talk. Not really, though. That actually had nothing to do with the success of it. It really didn't have anything to do with some rando coming up and talking for 30 seconds.
Okay.
um it really didn't.
No.
That maybe comprised
There's only like
5%
3 or 4 people.
of the people
Yeah.
who came in there. Most of the people were quite
It didn't really
content
add much.
to come in and listen. In
Yes.
fact,
Same here.
didn't want to talk.
You've had
Yes.
only like 3 or 4 people that have come up to stage in this entire podcast so far, and
Well,
Yes.
it didn't really add much.
and even, but again, like this is just something I'm just thinking about. I'm not even just talking about in here. I'm just taking like holistically my 3 month journey in spaces, and like just thinking actually it's almost bad. I'm thinking about when people come up and talk, like even when I'm doing my like giraffe spaces that
Mm.
I do. It like I've noticed myself getting annoyed like 80% of the time actually. When people come up and talk, they either say something that's just wrong, that now you have to correct because it's just simply wrong,
You're kind of referencing
and
our
it's
previous
wrong. And they're just like
Uh-huh. I know what
saying
you mean.
something like, my money is going to go three times if I put it somewhere for a month, and it's like,
You're kind of
no.
referencing like
in the scam
our
um
recent space, right? Like the
sure,
scammer,
i'm
like
just i'm just
those
talking about
types of people
Well,
that like
spaces. Yeah,
end up in
yeah.
there. They're just like some. You always end up like on. You end up getting a scammer that will come up and make fart jokes.
like there's that again, I'm just saying like the actual times where there's been something that's been of benefit, where
Yeah.
it's actually a benefit and it's not me being charitable, because
Okay.
normally it's me being charitable. Normally it's
Yes.
me
Yes.
being like, oh
No, I know
man,
what you mean.
I'm so glad you came in here.
Oh,
Willie to
sure.
speak. And it's like, oh my God, I wish he would never speak again. You know,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like,
it was different. So I've got a few thoughts on that. I mean, it was different in certain instances,
sure.
especially actually when you said Willie. And I know you weren't referring to anyone in particular, but there was a wonderful man who I got
I
to
know
know.
Willie's a great, I was
Well,
just
he's an
using
absolute legend. No, I know, but
yeah,
it just
yeah,
made
yeah,
me think
yeah.
that there was an occasion when having somebody randomly come in and speak led to an expansion of the community in a profound way, and it was really
Very
wonderful. And we
rare though.
came,
Very
yeah, no, no,
rare.
no, 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 sure, no, I get that, I'm about to say same thing. I was going to say that is very rare. That is very rare, and I was reflecting on what exactly what you're saying in my own mind over the last couple of weeks, and I realised that again I was questioning. I was thinking, what is it? What is it that's missing? What is it that I was enjoying? What bits have we not touched on? Whatever. And I remember thinking like there was some of the things which I remember thinking about, and it's exactly what you said. You've crystallized it really well. Most people coming in don't really add anything because it was almost a chore to try and bring people up. The
Yes.
thing was, the thing that made sense, and the only reason it was really kind of I was trying to do that when I was running those spaces a lot of the time was because it was just me because we had a thin crew.
Yep.
So you had to
Yep.
kind of get the conversation going. You couldn't just talk to yourself the entire time. But when people like Lord were there, or some of our other wonderful friends, we riffed and had such a bloody laugh together. Especially
Correct.
with a few beers in us and so on. And it was those different personalities having a great time, and playfully sort of taking the piss out of each other, as well as drifting across all these great topics and sort of inspiring and also just having a laugh and everything else. And people were tuning in to listen to that conversation, to listen to those
Correct.
dynamics. And that's
Yep.
why I thought, oh, an audience is good because then we've got lots of those people. But you're right, it isn't because you won't find that, and you won't find that repeatability. Because again, we're talking about repeatability, something that people want
Yep.
to tune in for.
Yep.
Random Bob that pops in, for 20 minutes during one segment. Even if that Bob character ends up causing a fantastic little discussion, but that he's never coming back, so he's not going to become a part of the
That's right.
show in any
That's
meaningful
right.
way. So then I'm thinking, yeah, and actually that's what's been nice about the three of us because obviously we've gotten on very well. And
Yep.
I didn't know who Dunk was prior to this. Obviously, you and Dunk were friends, and obviously you and I were friends. And mercifully, obviously, heroin aside, I think the guy's brilliant. Hi, Dunk. And we all seem to get along quite well, so that's nice. Do I miss some of the extra dynamic? Yes, I do. Um,
Sure. Sure. Me too.
and actually,
Yeah.
even a part of me wants to even actually just pop back into some mixed spaces and say hi, guys. But I'm not sure that works because I'm fairly sure if you have a giraffe friend, you're not allowed in the link space. I don't really know how that works anymore. Um, but it's a shame if it is because I do miss those buggers, and I've got nothing, I've got no axe to grind or anything, and I don't want
Sure.
to, but anyway, but the fact was, it was fun. It was fun and it was nice, and this is fun too. But that's exactly right. The people that show up and say random things can just be conversation topic starters and can just then step back away again and maybe leave a thing. But if you've got a prepared show and if you've got the people and that sort of lined up, brilliant. So if we even had somebody that we knew, somebody that would come in for a show that would be part of the whole show, a show defining guest, that makes sense. But again, that's not just a random audience member popping up to say, thanks very much. But it can also be fun. But again, it seems more suited to a community, which is it isn't, is it? We're exactly not a community here. This is a podcast. So,
Yes.
the link stuff, the giraffe stuff, Gary, whatever, all that is community based. And really, that's exactly what it's for. But this, not the same thing.
But I'm even
So,
thinking about like because the dynamics that make that work also are the same thing that make that'll make this work too though. Because
mm,
like, I'm thinking about like again, just if you were to go into y- if you were to go into, I know it's like later for you, but like if you just went and like listen to some giraffe spaces,
mhm.
what you
Well, every
would
now
end
and
up
again I do.
finding,
Yeah.
and I know you have a couple times, but like
Mhm.
what you end up finding is me talking 90% of the time,
Mm.
and occasionally Gary will come in, he'll talk for a long time and leave. um,
Mhm.
I'll go back and forth with Dunk. It's pretty much going to be the same thing
Yeah.
every time, pretty much going to be the same exact
Yeah.
thing every time. And
Makes sense.
with
And people
like
show up for
gr-
it every single time.
great rarity, great rarity. Some like community member will come up and talk, but again, great rarity. And it's never it like people tune in for it. And again, people show up, and on the low end, you'll get, on the weekends you'll get 90 people. On like the weekday kind of, more active days, you'll get as much as 400 people. And and again, it's the same thing every time. It's basically me ideating over the same things.
Mm.
And that's it. Like that's the space, is let's tune in and listen to Joe ideate about the blockchain.
Yes.
And like that is the show. And it's not even really centered on the community. I mean,
It's a hype space.
it
No.
definitely boomerangs back,
Yeah.
and I'll definitely reel it into that.
Mm.
But I mean, it'll go,
I
and sometimes it'll
it's a
go,
hype space.
yeah, well, and sometimes it'll go into,
Yep. Until
like, I
somebody
mean,
else comes up
there's entire times where I don't even talk about
with the conversation.
giraffe, where I'm just like talking with Dunk about whatever the fuck,
Yep.
like,
Until
I
somebody else
mean,
comes up and wants to shift the
and,
conversation.
and, and normally 9 times out of 10, this is kind of where I'm going with it. 9 times out of 10, no,
Just a few people.
9.9 times out of 10, once that person comes up, it totally derails the flow and like kind of ruins the vibe.
There's a few people that
That's
do
interesting.
that more than others.
See what I
Sure.
do miss though is sometimes it would be because one of the things that was so lush in Link was the fact that we had this wonderful vibe, as in not just vibe, but kind of
Well,
ethos, energy about
that's like, yeah.
a future, a bright future, and all this sort of stuff,
Yep.
and a better world.
Yeah.
And then as a result, we would sit there and spend a lot of time talking about feel good stuff. And so if every now and again somebody would pop in and say, "Guys, just loving listening to you guys.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
making my day," and it felt nice to have that positive reinforcement.
For
And
sure.
that
For
was,
sure.
and I can't deny that was nice, and it was good to hear that we were actually connecting with people, making that, and that's
Yeah.
something I think that can be nice. But that's it's not
That was
really
great.
necessary. That was great,
That
but again,
that
it
was
still
great, but
reinforces
also
your point.
short-lived too. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
also, I doubt, I don't know, because I didn't like go in and listen, but I doubt after I left that carried on much longer. I bet you things felt very different after that.
I
And
don't know. I don't know.
I would imagine it's like
I don't know.
non-existent now.
All I ever want to do is comment on my personal experience, and I'm just saying that was something which was nice. But again,
I
it doesn't
agree. I
change. It
agree.
doesn't
I
it
loved
doesn't
that.
alter. Yeah, but all I'm
I
saying is
loved that. Yeah.
even that which whilst good doesn't change what you're saying. That was kind of it. That was kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the.
And again, I'm totally agreeing. And again, I even think that was something unique to that
Time, that
place, was
moment in
there.
life, that moment in
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
there was that month there where, I mean, it was like I lived on cloud nine.
Yeah.
Like reality, it was like reality didn't even really really matter.
So bizarre, wasn't it?
Like
My God.
it was a one
Surreal.
month, it was a 1 month high is what it was. It was like,
That's like Dunk's life.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's like we
it's
know what
like
it felt to
Dunk's
feel
life
like,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
When
Like
Dunk's been paid and he's
we
got
kind of
he's got a
know.
good bit of change in his pocket. He has a month of non-stop high. It was like that. It's like we got to
When he gets his
experience.
paycheck, and he's got his like 3 days of
Yeah.
supply.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude, you know what it was like,
Just got to go down the
even when
street and
we
get
like
me.
went up to like a 70 million market cap and like snapped back. I
Mm.
remember like just being like, nah,
Meh. Whatever.
yeah,
Really?
just kind of like, whatever.
Man,
Like, I don't care.
I had
You
fucking
know,
I could have bought a house with the money I had at that point, and I
right?
didn't
I
sell
know,
a fucking dime. I was
right?
so
I
like,
know.
no, this is the
Yeah,
future of the world. I don't care. I'm
yeah,
not
me
selling a
too, me
fucking
too. Yeah,
cent.
yeah, me too.
Oh shit. Anyway,
So.
whatever. Let's not fall into any. Let's not.
Into
Well, no. I'm just, but again, I'm saying, like, I'm agreeing
Mm,
with you. That feel good
yeah.
feeling was a very real thing. It was a very
Yeah.
real thing. But my point is it's not that is
No.
very unique and also not
Yes.
even sustainable within its own space is
There
the
it is.
point I was trying to get
There
at.
it is. Yes, exactly.
So like I again, I'm just bringing this stuff up to
Yes,
be
I
a
see what you're
little
saying.
scientific,
Yes, absolutely. No, please do. This is important. This is what I love.
and
This is good.
and just think about like what again like the things that worked across those two
Yeah.
things that I've been a part of. And again, I'm still, I'm no authority on this. I've done this for 3 months, so
Yes.
I'm I'm
Yes, I think.
very very much feeling around in a with a blindfold on right
Oh,
now.
for
So
sure. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what's so great though, is that both of us really both are. There are probably people listening to this that are like professionals in this industry sitting there going, the fuck are these
what are
clowns
these
doing?
idiots doing?
They're
Yeah,
just reverse engineering through sniffing in the air how to make
yeah.
shit work. Are they? Well, good luck to them then. Yeah,
Well,
stick
have
around,
fun, guys.
pal.
Yeah, yeah.
Stick
Stick
around, pal.
around, shithead. Yeah. Um,
They'll become our
it
biggest supporters.
right, exactly. They're gonna
These
call us
guys
to
did
be
it.
on their show.
These guys did it from nothing. Wow.
But like kind of just getting like stripping back to the basics, I think so like my ultimate point of all of this that I'm
Okay.
trying to make, and like this
Okay.
is the bottom line.
Here we go.
What worked and what and again, this is from like the beginning, and again, it there's things that it had that we just simply can't recreate here. One is there was a promise of making money, right?
Oh,
For
sure. That's
little to no effort.
mm,
So, that obviously can't be recreated in a podcast unless we go and launch a token.
indeed.
But 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 what made that stuff work because again, at the end of the day, 95% of the people in there did not have more than $100 in. These are most people didn't have like large dollars in there. Most people were coming in
That's
for
really
entertainment, and what that entertainment was, particularly at the beginning, was Joe talking to Owen.
yes, probably.
And I mean that, I like really, and again, there were. It's not to take away from like other people. There are other people who um like you said, Lord, that guy, what a sweetheart. He sent me a bottle of whiskey from England.
Did you
I
fucking
like
really?
I couldn't believe it, man. Yeah.
Oh, God,
Guy
I'm
sent
so
me a
jealous.
bottle of
I'm so
Macallan 12 that actually Dunks drank. I haven't even had a sip of it yet. um
yeah, all the
but
rest of it
yeah,
was a
what do you expect?
star
And
and
a
a gentleman.
selfish
That guy.
selfish
Selfish piece of
addict.
shit.
But
Oh wait.
like
Oh,
what a again what a gentleman, right? Like
Yeah.
again, like nothing but love for that guy.
Hmm.
So there are definitely people like him who I really, really valued, and um did add something in their own right,
Oh,
to be
definitely,
sure.
tons.
To be
Yeah.
sure,
Oh no, for sure. I'm not.
yeah,
I don't feel comfortable just
I,
trying to carry all the.
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe.
So I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
we
say
were
it was,
significant. We were significant, but I do not.
yeah,
I
right,
wouldn't have for a minute that it was just us. So, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give my props to, so it
Yeah.
it wasn't just. However,
Yeah.
the 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 lion's share was. So, there were definitely others who had a lot to do with it, and were entertaining, and then there were other people who may not have been as entertaining, but they were, they offered something on a technical end that people, got things out of, and definitely enjoyed, for sure. So
Hey, man.
there's all that. But again, I the hook, and especially at the beginning, especially the things that hooked a lot of people at the beginning, you know i, I even know, just like I can remember just sitting on the phone, like listening, being like, wow, you know what, and like, and again, it's why I reached out to you, because I remember just thinking to myself, like, if I were still working construction, I would 100% be in my truck right now, and if I could tune into this guy, I'd just listen to him talk, like thinking about you,
Oh,
and
really? Oh,
yeah, and just being like, I would 100%, go drive to work listening to
wow.
him on radio, and
Wow.
and, and again, that was a big reason why I was like reaching out to you, like, hey, let's do this, because I know there were a lot of other people in there.
That's funny.
Again, like I've read my messages, who were just all kinds of people who are just, I don't even own Link. I just like to tune in and hear you talk,
Yeah.
and like, okay, right on, and
Yeah. Well, again, it
it,
was the
you know,
subject
like,
matter too, wasn't it? That's the point. That was the point. Because we did. I don't
well,
know what it was,
it
but I
was
spoke a lot from
everything.
my
It's
heart. There was a lot of
everything.
passion and a lot of energy and
A
a lot of
lot of
belief.
it
And
was it
people could
was
feel that.
well, what it is like what I
It's
keep
not just a
saying.
what.
People are dying right now for sincerity. It's
Mm.
why it's why like all the things that are popular right now are popular, and why all the things that are dying right now are dying, because
Nice.
people would much rather listen to the sincerity of a Theo Vaughn or a Joe Rogan rather than tune in to listen to an expert talk on Fox or CNN or something.
Right.
So people would much rather hear just a normal person talk to another normal person.
Mm.
So, and again, that's when you boil down
Mm-hmm.
like what we had, that's
Mm-hmm.
really what that was just a
Yes.
bunch of normal people who came and sat in a room together,
Mm.
and there was a short little time period where a very interesting phenomena occurred,
Yes.
and like that's what I want to recapture.
Yeah.
And again,
Perfect.
there's certain things that we're just not going to be able to recapture,
Right.
because some of the
It's
some of
different.
the dynamics are just different.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think it matters all that much. I think there's still very much a very clear path forward. I
Nice.
really do.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Yeah.
I'd buy that. I'd buy
As
You
you
that.
tracking
say,
with me?
as you say in America, I'll buy
I'll buy that. Wow, amazing. That was
I'd buy that.
amazing.
I'd buy that for $1.
Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you,
Gave it
thank
to
you,
a
thank you.
RoboCop apparently.
As you say in America, I'll buy that. I don't know what that did for you, Dunk, but yeah, that was amazing.
It
Um,
it made me think of
n-
RoboCop. Apparently,
Not only was it wrong, but it was wrong in a cute way, and it was just awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Owen. I can sleep with a smile on my face tonight. Thank you for that. Um,
Good, good.
so, um, well, with that, why don't we leave it here? What my challenge to both of you guys?
Mhm.
Well, I know Dunk and I will probably be asleep in the next couple hours, but let's let's sit and spend our waking hours thinking about, like, okay, um, what can the next show be about? Let's try to do a
Pre
Yeah.
pregame.
let's do a pregame tomorrow, or I guess that'll, you know what I mean, damn it,
Yep.
fucking time zone. Um,
Do
let's do let's do a
pre
well, it's even
pregame
almost
pregame.
you
it's
mean
almost tomorrow
so my
for us
early
in
evening?
Southern.
Right. So
Yeah.
my early
You,
evening. So okay. Okay.
whenever you
No, that's
can.
fine. No, that's
It
fine.
can even be, it could even be tomorrow night for us.
No, that's
That's
fine.
even fine with me.
No, that
Um,
makes sense. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Let's just
it
message
could,
each other. Let's take advantage of our new WhatsApp group and just
yeah. Let's just
just
ideate.
start
Let's
talking.
let's
Yeah.
let's start talking in there. by the way, I don't know what the hell happened with my all of my text messages go through just fine with everyone else. I ended
Yeah.
up getting like a tranche of text
iMessage, I
messages
think
on
it's because
our three-way
iMessage
group.
switched to some other.
Anyway, we have the
It's a different
Yeah,
system.
anyway. So
WhatsApp
for
now.
some, yeah, we have WhatsApp now, but you know,
Mm.
I got like 70. Anyway,
Yeah, iMess. I think it's because
And
iMessage switched
then
to
you
some
sat
other
there with your
protocol.
arms
Like
crossed
it's a different
to
well,
stop
system.
like
it as
I
screwing
had
up.
messaged you guys, you guys didn't get them.
Yeah.
Then I just stopped getting them, and something happened to
Oh
my phone.
shit. Yeah.
So
So
Then
now
you
we've got
were then you
communications
sat
working
there
again. It's
with your
yeah,
arms crossed, just like pissed off at us for not replying.
right.
fine.
Well,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I'm sitting there
exactly.
thinking, Joe,
Naturally,
Joe doesn't like me
naturally,
anymore. Joe doesn't like me
yeah,
anymore. That's the end of
naturally.
that.
um. So yeah. Well, let's just do that, and I'll of course do the same. But but my 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 takeaway here for both of you guys is, you know, guys, I we can have something here really good. Um, we like you and I, Owen,
Mhm.
have seen how a phenomenon like this can take off really quick.
Yes.
And we did that inside a very, very, very small niche. Like we can do this now on YouTube that doesn't have the constraints of crypto, let alone the constraints of an individual crypto coin on Solana.
Mm.
Okay, so like
Yes. I mean, it's
we
50-50,
can
isn't it? It's either without the constraints or without uh, as you say, without the hope of making money. You see, that's the flip side. It's like, yes, we can do it without the constraints of that, but we're also doing it
mm,
without
mm,
the impetus to kind of people thinking, hey, hang on a minute, these
Owen,
guys know what they're talking about.
I want to
I can get
remind
rich
you
doing what they
about
say.
something
Yeah.
about YouTube.
That's the
here
flip side to
Is the
that
second
but
largest
benefit.
that's
search
so
engine.
limited though. That's so
Oh,
limited.
I'm not
All
saying it
that will
isn't.
do is
I'm not saying it isn't.
it'll
Google is the only other
Oh,
one
and
that
Keeps
does
it
it.
very
it'll
short
only
I
get
lived.
want to
us
remind
Keeps it
you
very
about
short lived.
something about YouTube. YouTube
Is
is the
owned by
second largest search
YouTube
engine on the planet,
is owned by Google.
followed by
So the
Google. Like
largest
Wow.
search
right,
Google is
engine
the
on the
only other one
right.
planet
above
is
it.
owned by Google,
Google,
the second.
and then who
So
is owned by, like,
they
YouTube
will they're gonna
Oh,
find
is
that's true. Yeah,
owned
they
by
bought
Google.
by
So
Google.
the
Yeah.
the largest search engine on the planet is owns the second. So
And so
Nice.
look, anyway,
they will
all I'm
they're gonna find your content, is my point, on YouTube.
all I'm
Oh no,
gonna
sure,
yeah,
sure.
and like what I want to like challenge both of you guys to do right now is especially at the beginning of this, because this is just what this is what starting something like this requires
Mhm.
is just you've heard me say this before, Owen, shameless audacity. We need to have a little bit of faith here
I'm
and
for
think
that.
that we're right and think that this can work and like just really really remain in a very like limitless abundant mindset, and
Absolutely.
it will
Absolutely.
work. It will work. And here's the thing, what we're doing now, fine, we lose one thing. What we lose is, yeah, we lose the starting point of having people arrive because they think they can make money. But here's what we gain. By losing that, we gain the rest of the world as an audience. So we had a very limited audience before. Now we gain the rest of the world. And tell me, look, if it was successful with a bunch of degens who like live on Solana and X, think about how successful putting a feel good message out to the world will be, especially in a world where people are pretty much constantly pissed off. They're pissed off because they hate Trump. They're pissed off because they hate the other person other than Trump. So everyone's pissed off because everyone falls into one or two of those categories in America. People in England, they're pissed off because they hate Keir Starmer or
Mm.
Richie Sunak. Everyone falls into one of those categories, right? So, like, everyone's pissed off right now. Everything's divided. And if we can essentially deliver the same like positive message that we did there, we
Yes.
could do and have a laugh while doing it, and maybe
Oh,
learn
God, yeah.
something while doing it, then we can have the same impact that we had there, but rather than it reaching 200 people in a space, it'll reach 20,000 people a day on a YouTube,
Pretty low
and then maybe even more from there. And again, like, I don't think that's like a really impossible metric for us to hit
I think 20,000 is
relatively
a pretty low
quickly.
metric to hit.
Right. And I'm saying that like
Mm.
pretty
See,
quickly,
I'd fucking love that
you
because
know.
I want, one of the things that was true then, and I want, and it must be true now, otherwise it's not going to happen. Is I believed in something, and I believed in a better world, and I believed in making a difference in people's lives. And I don't want this to be anything less than that. I want this to
Right.
be making a difference in people's lives. I don't want this to just be entertainment. I want this to be something people go, fuck yeah, man. This is fucking awesome.
So
This has made me feel
so
better. This has
see
made me
that
go
right
outside
there.
today.
Okay. That right there was going to be the next thing I was going to challenge to the three of us is we need to sit down and figure out our why. I think you just nailed your why right there, Owen.
Hmm.
Why are we doing this? Because you can't, if we don't have a why, we're coming here to do this, then we're just going to be a wandering generality.
Yeah, man.
If our why we're coming here to do this is you want to stop jumpers, you want people to have a reason to get out of bed in the
Mhm.
morning and have a smile on their face and
Yeah.
say, oh well, I really felt like shit before I listened to Owen and Joe.
Yeah.
Now I feel pretty good. Maybe I will go to the gym. Then that's a great why. And
Hells
and
yeah.
that's a why that'll sell a lot of tickets.
That's the kind of why that's going to keep me from needing to go to sleep.
Right.
That's the kind of why
Right.
that would get me to listen to this podcast while I'm at the gym.
Exactly. Brendan.
So
This
there it
needs to
is.
make a
Look,
difference. That's what it's about. I'm not
there.
here. I'm not here for anything less. So I
So
wasn't. I wasn't in link for anything less. It wasn't about
exactly.
making money. It
So
became very quickly about making a difference to people's lives, and that's what I was
e-
passionate about,
exactly.
and it's what I want
Exactly.
this to be.
It's why it's the exact reason why you and I didn't cash out when we could have taken a lot of money,
Hmm.
because it wasn't even about money. It was about all these other people who again, I'm sure you did the same thing that I did every day when you'd read your DMs and just be like stunned,
Yes.
and just like touched.
Hmm.
I know I was,
Mm.
and just like, whoa, I didn't even realize I'm having an impact on that person's
Yeah,
life
man.
in a very profound way.
And that's what I mean about the
You
people that
know,
would show up and say the same thing too. You know, like there were
yep,
some wonderful voices that came in and said, "Gosh, you guys are something magical that we want to tune in for because it makes my day start off better." You know,
yep,
wonderful,
yep.
wonderful. I mean, that meant more to me than anything. And that almost makes me tear up now, just talking about it. Actually, now I've
Same here. I
remembered.
know. Same here. Same here. Same here.
That's what I
Is
want, man. That's what I fucking want. I
very,
want to. I
very
want to be a bit.
profound.
Yeah. So we need to figure out a way of doing that. Um, and because that's yeah, that's what I
So
need.
look, so look, let's break right here. Let's end on that high note and just shoot up to that with that
Fuck yeah,
on your head, on your mind.
fresh fucking needle,
Um,
bro.
I'm afraid
Don't reuse the
just
same one
like,
again.
yeah, never use the same one, dude. Don't do that. And don't share. Don't share.
Share what?
Um,
I
What?
don't share your needle, Dunk.
I legit
Um,
I'm afraid
God.
of needles.
all jokes aside, I actually have.
sure you are.
So you kept trying to hide them
Um,
all in your arm. Yeah.
yeah, I know. Just
I
that's why
Man,
he's
we're
so
gonna get
afraid
into
of them.
so
He
much
hides
trouble
them
for
in
this.
his arm.
There's probably one thing.
Due to the one
all jokes aside,
the,
I
due to
actually
the
have
one
a
time
phobia
that I
of
donate
needles.
due to the one time I
Oh,
donated blood
wow.
Right. Sure.
Okay,
and
it's a healthy
I,
place
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
That's
I
fine.
actually like no joke. I
Knives,
do.
and the
needles,
needle came back
fire,
out of my
Due to the
hand
vein.
one
grenades.
due to
It was
due
in
to the
my
one time
arm
that I
Hand
donated
grenades.
due to the one time I
my
donated
vein.
blood and they put a bag of blood on my arm with a needle in my arm and the needle came back out of my vein. It was in my
And here I
arm.
am
Okay,
now.
Dunk, I'm trying to end on a high
Yeah, we're
note
on a
here, and
high
you're
note.
really killing that, man. Yeah, thank
It's
you.
our fault.
Thank you,
It's our
Dunk.
fault.
Go
He
back to your
wasn't the one.
cage.
He wasn't.
Okay.
We did this to
No, but seriously,
ourselves.
and
We have to stop
like
this.
like
We
and
have to
here I
talking
am
about
stop.
that
now.
memory
Like
made me
We have
look
to stop
like
this. We can't.
lightheaded and
We have to fucking
Sweaty.
probably stop this.
No joke.
Poor old
Like,
Dunk.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's pretty.
No, but
Anyway.
seriously, like I
Like,
like just
ever since
thinking
then-
about that memory, like made me a little like lightheaded and like sweaty. Just like no joke. Like
But now
it was
I'm okay.
it's
Wow.
it's pretty
Here we
like
are,
traumatic when that happened. Like
15
Well,
years
ever
later.
since then.
Thank you for
on that
thank you for
lighthearted and
remaining
sweaty bombshell.
persistent and taking it all the way to the end. Thank you.
But now I'm okay.
Beautiful.
This is here we are.
Holy God, he's still going.
15 years
Okay.
later, no trauma.
Thank you very much. Okay. So look, let's rather than ending on the high note, let's end on that low note.
Yeah. The busy and mildly
And
sweaty low note.
yeah. And
Perfect.
yeah, there it is.
No,
So
honestly, fuck
that's
it.
what I
That's
wanted
what
to
I say, like,
deliver.
if
We
you
want to
have,
change the
like,
world, and we
1 billion
fucking will.
people on this planet, you can
You know,
make
ultimately, you know,
a huge difference, just making an impact on a few
we will, regardless of
people hear
Dunk.
your message.
You know, it's
What I say is like there's 8 billion people on this planet. You could make a huge difference. Just make an impact on a few people. Like just
That's
a
right.
few people hear your message, and it's going to make a huge impact.
yes, indeed. And what is it? So there's like, okay, so here's an interesting little quote. It's worth doing all this, right? Because why? Okay, this is a great one. You like to finish on quotes. Here's a fun. Author Ben Short can remind us why hard work is worth it. Looking at the work done and the work still to do, most people would have written the whole thing off as too much sweat with too little gain. I didn't
Beautiful.
want an easy life.
This
I
is a
wanted
beautiful way
a
to end it.
beautiful one.
Oh God, I love that.
And that's what we're trying to
Okay,
do.
let's end it there before Dunk ruins things with
That was
talk of
Yeah,
blood.
and that's what we're going to do.
Okay,
We're going to make the world a more
That was
beautiful
a
place.
beautiful way to end it.
perfect. Okay, gents.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's go till we have our mission. Let's go.
We have it. Let's do it. Let's think hard on this, guys. Let's make this work.
Yes.
Because again, what's at stake here is nothing but
Nothing less than
changing
changing
the
the
world.
world. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, gents.
Fuck yeah.
Love you
I
both.
say
And you.
niche.
All right.
Take it
I
easy.
say niche.
Cheers.
Peace out. Bye.
Cheers.
Never say niche ever again.
Oh, let me say.
It's
Okay,
niche.
niche.
I say
There
niche.
we
Thank you.
go.
I'm so glad I got that
say
in there.
niche.
Yeah,
God,
good.
it used to. You know, it used to always piss me off every time I'd be in like a meeting with an architect and they'd say, "We're going to build a niche here." I'd go, "Okay, so we're going to put the niche right there."
Oh fuck,
Got
no,
it.
don't
Okay.
even do just no. It's niche.
Yeah. No, it's
There
it's
it is.
niche.
Sorry,
All
I
right.
had
Love
to
you,
finish
brother.
up. Bye.
Okay. Love you, dude. Yeah, it's niche. Bye.